Welcome to Semantica Technical Walkthrough. I'm Neha Mittal, VP Client Partner at Kloudgen. Semantica is a Snowflake Native App that automatically builds a complete governed semantic model across Snowflake data and business documents. In this tutorial, I will show you how to build a cross-domain semantic model using structured and unstructured data within your Snowflake account using Semantica. After installation from Snowflake Marketplace, Semantica is available to you in the apps page that you can access from the left navigation. Once you click on the app, you can launch it, and this will navigate you to the registry page of Semantica. In Semantica, a registry is a complete governed semantic model for the sources you select. In this walkthrough, we'll create a registry and then inspect each major capability it provides. To create a registry, click on the plus sign here, then give a name to your registry. Here I'm selecting Demo for Semantica. Next, we select our sources. Here, for example, I have chosen the Cash App DB and I'm going to select Bank Schema, Cash App Schema, and ERP Schema. The ERP Schema contains customer purchase order, invoice material, and calendar data. The Bank Schema contains the bank payment data, and Cash App Schema contains reconciliation, priority, and exception flow work data. Next, open the Documents tab to add unstructured sources such as PDFs. For this walkthrough, I'm selecting policy documents and collection playbooks so Semantica can include business rules and operating guidance in the registry context. Once the schemas and documents are selected, click the Generate button in the upper right corner. Semantica will then begin generating the registry. As the registry is being created, Semantica is building the semantic foundation behind the scenes. It evaluates the selected schemas and documents to identify relationships, dimensions, facts, metrics, and synonyms. It also builds all the semantic views required for the business context. Semantica considers metadata, query data, user roles, and cross-schema relationships to build ontology so the model can understand how selected domains connect. At the same time, Semantica applies semantic governance by detecting potential conflicts and preparing them for resolution. It also uses Snowflake access controls including RBAC and RLS and masking, so answers are governed by the access model already defined in Snowflake. All of this feeds into context layer, which supports the agentic layer used to answer business questions in an organized and traceable way. Semantica then builds the natural language chat experience, and it creates the intent layer, which can capture feedback and question patterns over time and use them to enrich the registry context. Once registry is ready, we'll walk through each of these capabilities in the application. See you on the other side. The registry is now ready. Let's begin by exploring the first feature, Visualize. Click the three-dot menu and select Visualize. This view displays the database tables and how they are connected and the relationships between them. You can also select any table to see the metrics that Semantica generated for it. Next, let's take a look at ontology. Click on the Ontology tab. In Semantica, the ontology represents the business meaning and relationships behind the data. It shows how entities and domains are connected and helps AI agents understand which tables, columns, metrics, and business concepts belong together. This enables business questions to be answered using the right context. Our next feature is Edit. From the menu, select Edit. This opens a detailed view of dimensions, facts, metrics, and synonyms generated for each database table. Select any dimension, fact, or metric to review its details. Click Edit to update descriptions, synonyms, or other associated values, and then save your changes. Within the Edit view, you can also open Documents tab to upload additional documents and update the registry with new business context. Now let's move to our next feature, Conflict Resolution. Conflicts in Semantica represent potential inconsistencies in business meaning, such as overlapping synonyms, duplicate metrics, or competing definitions. Semantica identifies these conflicts and highlights them with an orange warning triangle. To review them, click the three-dot menu and select Conflicts. For each conflict, Semantica provides several resolution options. You can approve, merge, dismiss, or delete the conflicting definitions depending on the appropriate business meaning. Semantica can also intelligently auto-resolve certain conflicts. Let's look at the Cache App Registry, which we use as a Semantica demo. When we open the conflicts view, we can see the Semantica has already auto-resolved the 3 conflicts it identified. The next feature in our walkthrough is History. In the registry, click the 3 dots and select History. This opens the audit trail for the registry, showing the key events and updates that occurred over time. In this example, Semantica shows the 3 conflicts were resolved. As the registry continues to be used, updated, and governed, the history section keeps track of these changes. The next feature is Chat. You can open it by clicking the blue Get Started button. Semantica allows users to either ask their own business questions in plain natural language or choose from the suggested questions generated for the registry. I'll enter my own question and then let's press enter. Semantica gauges the user's intent, identifies the relevant semantic views, and uses the governed registry context to generate an organized response. Here you can see the analytics for the question along with the recommended action items. At the end of each answer, Semantica provides several action icons. The first icon is copy, which lets you copy the generated response and reuse it in presentation reports, etc. Semantica also captures user feedback through the thumbs up and thumbs down icons. Users can indicate whether the answer was helpful or satisfactory, and the feedback can be used to improve the registry context and future responses. The next important icon is the query lineage. Query lineage shows you the sequence of actions Semantica took to formulate the answer and generate the SQL behind the business question. Then you can click on the SQL tab to view the generated SQL. Semantica also offers a list of drill down questions that you can ask. You're free to ask your own drill down questions as well. The next feature is adding an analytic to interactive dashboard. From the answer, click the dashboard icon, enter the dashboard name and click save. For this walkthrough, I'm adding it to demo_dashboard. To open the dashboard, click the dashboard icon in the upper right corner. Each saved analytic in the dashboard retains its semantic context from the registry. So when I click on this graph, a chat panel opens up on the right, and Semantica suggests relevant drill down questions based on the analytics. If I want to inspect the analytics further, I can maximize the graph and open the table tab to view the supporting data behind the visualization. I can also ask my follow-up questions directly from the dashboard, and Semantica uses the same governed registry context, metric definitions, and source relationships to generate the response. You can go back to the chat by clicking on the icon on the top, and you will see on the left side of the chat there is a history of the questions saved. Now let's go back to the registry and inspect our next feature, which is the update. The update feature lets you keep an existing registry current. You can upload YAML files in Semantic Model Upload tab, add more business documents in the Documents tab, or refresh source metadata from the Metadata Refresh tab. Semantica refreshes metadata automatically once a day, but if your Snowflake objects change and you want the registry updated sooner, you can trigger a manual refresh. Semantica then uses these inputs to update the context layer and keep the semantic model aligned with the latest sources. Let me quickly walk through the user settings and admin options. Click the user icon in the upper right corner and select Settings. From here, users can choose between light mode and dark mode for Semantica interface. The reset cache option clears the local and user scope server cache and reloads the application. This can be useful when you want to refresh the app state during testing and troubleshooting. You can manually refresh metadata from here. Semantica refreshes metadata automatically once a day, but if your Snowflake objects have changed and you want the latest metadata reflected sooner, you can trigger the refresh manually. Now I'll go back to the user icon and select Admin. This is the access management section here, and an administrator can add another user, assign a Snowflake role, and grant the appropriate Semantica privileges such as view, edit, or create access. This allows Semantica to work with access model already defined in Snowflake while giving teams control over who can view, manage, or create Semantica registries inside the application. This way, Semantica honors the RBAC policies of Snowflake. This brings us to the end of this walkthrough. We created a cross-domain registry, inspected the generated semantic model, reviewed ontology, editing, conflict resolution, chat, lineage, dashboards, update options, and settings and access management. The key takeaway is that Semantica helps teams build and govern a complete semantic model across Snowflake schemas and business documents, and then use that model for natural language analytics, traceable SQL, and reusable dashboards inside Snowflake. To learn more about Semantica, visit Kloudgen's website www.kloudgen.com, or you can contact our team at info@kloudgen.com. Thank you for watching.